Okay, today we are going to do factorization by grouping. How do we identify it is a factorization by grouping? They are all together how many terms? Yep. So they are all together 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when it's 4 terms, there is a chance that it is factorization by grouping. So how do we start off with this? First, usually we will group it this way. Now the rule is this, number 1, they are all together 4 terms. Number 2, there is one pair with common factors. Okay, that's all. Either this have common factor, this have common factor, or the one in the middle have common factor. Any pair will do. So why do we start like that? It's because it's easier to see. If this pair has common factor, then we can start already. So let's see. Do we have a common factor here? What's the common factor for the first 2 terms? We have 3a. So the question asks you to factorize, so we will factorize out 3a. Now, when we factorize out a term here, what we are going to do is we are going to divide. So 3ax over 3a is x. There's a plus sign, we will put the plus sign down. And here, 9 divided by 3 is 3. Ay divided by a is y. The next thing you will tend to do is you want to factorize out this. But you realize that the signs are now negative. So it's very confusing. Sometimes when we put the brackets, we do not know what are the signs we want to put inside. That's a trick. This bracket and this bracket will always be the same. After doing like 10 times, 20 times, we realize a pattern. Hey, this bracket and this bracket, end of the day, we will become the same. No matter what, you will become the same. So, how do I change this to here? What is the missing term? I must multiply by another what term? 4b. Plus or minus? So let's check. What do you have here? Say it out. I will have negative 4b. What will you have? Negative 12by. See? So the brackets will always be the same. Now this will award you 1 mark if you have written the sign in the middle correctly. A lot of times you all forget the sign in the middle. So by writing this out, you'll get that 1 mark. And the final mark is the easiest to get. I will first factorize out this common factor here, x plus 3y. So what will be remaining? After I divide by x plus 3y, I'll be left with 3a. And here I'll be left with minus 4b. So class, how do I know that my answer is correct? That's a way to check one. I need to expand. If I expand, very good. If I expand out, I will get back this. There is no way you can get this wrong. Okay, if you have the time to check. So, can we do this now? Step 1. Check that we have a pair or at least one of them. So, this first 2 terms, there is a pair, and I will take out my highest common factor. It must be the highest. Otherwise, no matter what you do, you will still get it wrong. So I will have a minus 3. Just double check. 7ax minus 21x. So what do I do with this bracket here? The a minus 3, what do I do? What should I put here? Yeah. Okay, the reason is so that we are not stressed by the plus minus sign. We can settle the plus minus sign immediately. But the tricky part is, this one has a, this one is the one with a. How do I make them the same? What must I multiply by? Yeah, so there must be a sign here. The sign is, if you don't have the sign, you will lose that 1 mark. So the final step is, these are the common factors. So I'm going to factorize out a minus 3, and I'm left with 7x minus 4. Lastly, if you want to check, some of you were asking, how do I know that my answers are correct? I will check like this. I have 7ax minus 4a, correct? Minus 21x, correct? And plus 12, correct? So this is what we call check. You can write that in exams. I'm checking. The examiner will know you are checking. Okay, the last example here. I will pair it up this way. Oh, problem. What's the problem? Is there any common terms here? No. So the common term is only 1, right? And this one, the common term is also 1. I can't do factorization by grouping this way because there's nothing to factorize out. So what do we do in such a situation? We pair them up separately or differently. So I will put it this way instead. I'll rewrite the expression. Is there any common things here? Any common factors? Now I can start already because I have a common factor here. Only one pair needs to have common factors. If this one no common factor, it is fine. You can take it as 1. But at least one of them must have common factor. So the common factor is b bracket x plus 1. So what will be in the second bracket? Don't care about the sign yet. So what should be inside the? It should still be x plus 1. Okay, the challenge is now I have an x here and I have an x here. So what is the missing term that I need to multiply by? Say the sign is minus k. So let's check. Minus xk, correct. Minus k, correct. So the last step to get the second mark and the final mark will be factorize out x plus 1, and I'll be left with b minus k. Okay, can we stop the video?